Anchors up, sails at full. Welcome to the Sloopcast. How are you doing today, Kyle?
You're not, Jared. Doing all right. How are you?
You know, I'm doing better than the Ohio State basketball team.
God, they need to shoot so much better. It's only halftime. Well, just starting the second half, and they are shooting 31%. Wolf.
But the competition's good.
We're just going to move on to know your enemy, Jared. We're going to talk football here.
Okay. We'll talk football.
Yeah. Know your enemy, Maryland Terrapins. We're going to talk about the Turtles again, Jared. Our favorite time of the year.
Our favorite time of the year. We have two turtle-based. We have a turtle-based tradition and a turtle-based team. So it just, I don't know what's going on in that picture, Kabuto. No clue. That I like the turtle slapping the other turtle. That is excellent. That is an excellent GIF. I'm gonna put that back on the screen for a second. Look at that. Just a turtle slapping another turtle. What else could you want?
How about some Buckeyes slapping some turtles this weekend?
Buckeyes slapping turtles.
Yeah. Maryland coming into this game 6-4, 3-4 in the Big Ten, losing their last two games to Penn State 30-0, and then Wisconsin 23-10.
Yeah. Four losses on the year. Is what it is. This Purdue, they just read that they lost to Purdue. This Maryland team, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible team. Deep diving into the statistics, it is good for Maryland. Maybe, or this is just a Maryland team. Might be the better way of saying it. Like this is Maryland. One thing I figured out, sort of deep diving into the statistics, because I sort of saw it on Twitter and elsewhere all week, was like, oh, this Maryland passing defense is garbage. This Maryland, oh my God, the Maryland pass defense is garbage. It's terrible.
It's not great, but
yeah, you look and it's like number 68 in the country.
Oof.
But
close. That was close.
It was close. But if you look, opponents' yard per pass, they're 18th in the country. 18th in the country. All that really means is that teams are passing on them a ton. In fact, opponents' attempted passes per game, they are 116th in the country. It's kind of like our situation last week with the Indiana run defense.
Yeah, and we saw what Ohio State did to them. So I anticipate a full-on passing attack in this game, right?
Right. I'm gonna I'll say it like this. They're not nearly as bad as that 68 makes them look from a pass defense perspective, but they probably also aren't as good as 18, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, they're probably also not as good as 18. Truth, probably falling somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, they're a middle of the road type of team. They're not terrible, but they're not great. They're just in the middle there. I mean, you look at, Jared already listed a lot of the statistics there, but you look at anything else in here, points per game, letting up points, offense, defense, conversions, whatever. They're near that, somewhere between 40 and 70 range there. So they're kind of just in the middle there.
Yeah. Yeah. The one of the other things that sticks out to me, as Kyle points out, the stats feel very balanced. They feel like very balanced stats, but they're not just balanced as far as like being in the middle. They're also pretty balanced, like pass or offense to defense. For example, yards per rush, they are ranked offensively 54th in the country. Defensively, 55th in the country. Passing yards per game, 50th on offense, 68th on defense. Turnover statistics. Well, I guess that one's just a plus minus, so it's always going to look like that. But penalties. This is where they kind of fall apart. This is where sort of that middle of the road thing falls off. They are 110th in the country number of penalties, and penalty yards per game 124th. That's nearing dead last.
Yeah, that is not good. Not good, Jared.
So Maryland, if we're gonna play the what does Maryland have to do game, like if Maryland wants to pull the upset, what do they have to do? And they have to play clean football. And they can't be they can't have a penalty at the rate of 110th in the country. As that's not going to work. Will they actually call holding against them? Well, Kabuto, I added the word actually to your question, if that tells you anything about where my mind was. For the first time of the year for our D-line. It wouldn't be the first, but it definitely wouldn't be accurate. It wouldn't be anywhere near making it up, that's for sure.
Well, what does Maryland have going for them, Jared?
What does Maryland?
Baby Tua. Baby Tua is their quarterback. He's played the past couple of weeks here, but I think that's about it. He has not been the same since he came back from his injury there. I'm pulling up the stats real quick here, but his numbers have not been that good. Earlier on in the season, he was actually pretty decent here. He was 66% against Michigan for over 200 yards. He threw for over 300 against Sparty, over 300 against Purdue. But then the last 2 weeks here against Wisconsin and Penn State, he put up 77 and 74 yards passing.
It's not great.
No.
We'll just go ahead and say it. Like he's back, but he's not back. Like if you look at his season numbers, they still look kind of good. 7.7 per attempt, nearly 70% completion percentage, quarterback rating of 144.8. If you look at those totals, it looks like he's doing a damn good job this year. But as Kyle pointed out, those feel a little front loaded. I am saying that way too nice. I'll say it nice. It's a little front loaded.
Yeah, it is.
One of the things he and his backup had in common, and to a much better quarterback overall. I feel like I could back that up statistically, but I also don't feel like I really need to. Yeah, one of the things where they have comparable numbers is sacks. The quarterback's totaling 29 sacks so far on the year. And when you look at the passing statistics, I believe quarterback sack percentage sitting at 97%. Excuse me. God, I keep messing that up. It's at 97th place. I did the place and the statistic backwards both times.
Yeah, in the past 2 games here, Tua's been
words sacked. Are hard.
He's been sacked 5 times against Wisconsin and 7 times against Penn State. So since he's been back, he's already been sacked 12 times.
Yeah, and
not good.
If you're looking for a more like statistical balance, 97th in the country giving up sacks, 91st in the country at creating sacks. More balance, but definitely some black marks on the Maryland statistical page for sure. I see Tommy with 4 sacks. That's a big number. I don't know if Austin's given us his over-unders yet, but I would take an under on that one. Will Raheem Jarrett still be sitting on the bench pissed? No. Or yes? Which bench?
Maybe.
Which bench are we talking about?
Yeah. All right.
But speaking of Raheem Jarrett, he is the leading wide receiver, at least statistically, on the team. Has the most catches by a lot. Has a fair when you compare him to second place, who is their tight end, about the same yardage ish. Maryland's where he sat last year, boohooing. I'm aware, but he is playing now. But I was just like, which I was just having fun with you. But yeah, they their primary wide receivers, Jarrett, then you could probably say pretty easily. Next would be their tight end. Then they have wide receiver Copeland, who also has got a fair amount of yards, and then they have wide receiver Jones, who has about the same number of yards, but a little bit more catches than Copeland. Copeland, going by pure statistics on this, seems to be one of their bigger play wide receivers as far as his average goes. He has the best catching average, best yardage average on the team.
But really, if anything, like, I'm not too worried about their offense. They're averaging 28 points, but they're letting up about 25 points per game here. But what you got to really worry about with Maryland here is their duo safeties who are playing really, really well, and that typically doesn't bode too well if your two safeties are your leading tacklers for the team.
Yeah, that's not a great sign. It's not a good sign. Yeah, Blade and Trader are their two leading tacklers. Yeah, it's not your defensive backs can't be leading your team in tackles. It's not a good sign. It's not that almost never is unless you have like a real true like standout safety. And like these guys are good, don't get me wrong. They'll get shots at the NFL, don't get me wrong, but you don't want defensive backs being your top two. Well, yeah, they're top two tackle getters. Blade does also have a couple interceptions on the year, a couple forced fumbles on the year. So it's not like he's just back there catching all the time. He is, unless you're talking about interceptions, in which case he does have two of those. And then, Trader also has solid numbers to back up his tackles as well. Who's the guest picker? That is Gangland. We'll see him up here pretty soon.
All right. Honestly, yeah, we talk about the two safeties, Braden and Trader. Their linebackers aren't too bad as well. Hey, look, we got another McCullough to talk about, Jared.
Yep.
Got another McCullough. Amin McCullough is with 43 tackles for the year, and Deshaun Barham, also pretty much similar stats as McCullough as well, 42 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks for the year. And their defensive end, Greg China Rose, definitely can be a pretty stout defensive end to get the quarterback here, who has 4 sacks for the year so far. But it's really the safeties that Ohio State really has to watch out for. And if it's really just the safeties on defense, it's just pitch and catch type of game for CJ and the wide receivers.
They're launching a conspiracy theory down in the chat that you're a secret Maryland fan for some reason.
I don't know why. I did nothing wrong.
Don't try and get in their heads. Don't try and get in their heads. It's a no-win situation for you.
ACC country. They've been in the Big Ten for how many years now? Shh. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into our picks here, Jared?
I don't know. It's this team is so exceedingly average. It's a little tough. It's a little tough to find stuff to talk about. Teams have not tried to run the ball against them much this year, and I'm not 100% sure why, because like they're letting up like 4 yards a carry. You know, they're like once again like right in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like it's just, like I said, it's an exceedingly average team, and despite the fact that teams don't rush against them too often, I don't know. I think in many ways, if we look at what's happening, if sort of parsing down through the statistics and all that, it's just, like I said, an exceedingly average team, except in a couple places where they seem to be pretty weak. They don't do anything exceptionally well. They have a couple weaknesses. They're mostly just very average. If Tunga, I can never say his name. I was gearing myself up for it. If he
Tua,
well,
baby Tua, Jared.
Yeah, baby Tua. If he sort of finds his September form and comes back, Tunga via Ola. Thank you, Zach. That is very appreciated of you. So yeah, like I said, if he can sort of find a September form and come back and, you know, really lead the offense and excel at quarterbacking, then again, like, what does Maryland have to do to have a chance? A return of form for Tagovailoa. I always try and like take a syllable out. Tagovailoa. I always try and like take a syllable out for some reason. That's my biggest issue.
All right. So Ohio State, Maryland here, Jared. Ohio State is a 27.5-point favorite coming into this game. Before we do the spread pick, Jared, we are going to pick our players to watch. So we'll start with Ohio State. Who is your Ohio State player to watch for this game?
Ohio State player to watch. I want one of the wide receivers who aren't Marvin Harrison Jr. to step up in this game. This kind of feels like it's a good opportunity for Emeka Egbuka to sort of return to form. So I think that's where I'm looking. I think I'm going to look at Emeka Egbuka. I think that Maryland's probably going to try their best to put like they have some talented guys in the secondary to take away Marvin Harrison Jr. It should leave some openings for the other guys. So I'm gonna put that pressure on Emeka Egbuka.
All right, and I'm going to go with Cade Stover. I think Cade Stover is your player to watch here because it is
along
Jared,
those same lines.
It is the year of the tight end here.
It absolutely is.
Mentioned before, I think Ohio State's going to find openings, going to find a lot of open space to keep it away from those safeties, and just going to pitch and catch to your tight ends. To maybe we get Fleming involved. Maybe Fleming starts to turn things around and not have as many drop passes. And yeah, essentially like what you said, Jared. Anybody but like to see everybody but Marvin Harrison Jr. start to get the ball a little bit more.
And like that's not on Marvin Harrison Jr. or CJ Stroud. That's on the other pass receivers.
Yeah. All right. And enemy player to watch.
Gangland gave you an Ohio State player.
Who do you have?
No, it's in the in the notes.
He did?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Ohio State player to watch out for. CJ Stroud should have a massive performance in our last tune-up game before the game. Expect a 300-plus yard performance and at least 4 touchdowns for him. Fleming will come so close to a touchdown, but it'll be cleaned up by Mitch Rossi for a 1 to 2 yard TD catch. Look for Trey to pop a few big runs and then get the leash put on him to save him for next week. Dallin Hayden might rush for 120 out of load management sake for the veterans.
See, I thought that was a player. It turned out to be several players, but it's his week. We'll let him have it.
All right. Enemy player to watch, Jared. I'll go first. I'll go with the tight end. I think overall, I've been very impressed with Ohio State and really containing a lot of the tight ends that usually get thrown at them. Look at the Iowa game, look at the Notre Dame game. I think overall, Ohio State's done a pretty good job here. And I'm going to stick with the tight end again here, Corey. Corey, trying to figure out how to pronounce his last name, Jared.
Are you looking at me? I've already failed. I've already failed once spectacularly. It's your turn.
I'm just going to say Corey. I'm not going to humiliate myself. So I'm going to say Corey. Kyle, says Austin.
At least I tried. Guys, at least I tried.
As Jared mentioned before, he's second on the team in receptions, on yardage as well. Yeah, I think if Maryland's going to get anything going in the passing game, Corey's going to have to get involved here.
I think I'm going to put it all on Tualia. Again, I think the difference between Maryland having a chance in this game and not having a chance in this game is just, which Tualia shows up.
Yeah. All right, and let's see here. Guest picker here has, I really expect JT and Lathan to have big games this week and show just how far we have come as a team on that side of the ball in the years to come. Look out for some Sonny Styles appearance this weekend also, because I think he could have some significant snaps next weekend against the best run offense we will see all year. I want to see 4+ sacks and less than 250 yards given up by our starters. I would love nothing more than to see a pick 6 or 2 by our freshman, but I can accept another JT one if that is what's provided.
There you go. All right. It's come down to this. It's come down to this, Kyle. The spread pick, number sitting at, or wait a minute, we didn't do matchups yet, did we?
No, we didn't do matchups. I have Ohio State's wide receivers versus Maryland safeties. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I can see that. I can't even kind of disagree with that. Kyle, I think I said it last week, and they played better, but not great. And I think I said I was going to keep doing this until we've seen it change. I have Ohio State's interior offensive line against the Maryland defensive tackles. I will keep saying this until I see Ohio State start getting some short yardage plays.
All right.
Raheem Jarrett versus Denzel Burke, because that's fun. That's probably, it's a real strength on strength. By the way, just we haven't talked about Denzel Burke in a while, which is great. Like, that's exactly what you want. Like, he had a bit of a tough start to the season, and has properly, the way you want the cornerback to do, sort of disappeared a bit as of late.
All right. As Jared was about to say here, the spread for this game is 27.5 points, and the over/under is 63 points. You want to go first, Jared? Because I think the chat loves you more than me when it comes to the Ohio State picks here. So I'll let you go first.
Really? Is that what you think?
I know. It's what I know. Because
is that what you think? They are all.
I get harassed every week about Co's not going to pick Ohio State this week. What a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you go first, Jared.
Okay. Kyle's in his feelings right now. So I guess I got to do this. I have Ohio State to win. I have Ohio State to cover. Kyle, would you say the over-under was?
63.
I will take the over. I have Ohio State winning 55-14.
I have very similar score, Jared, but I have Ohio State 63 to 14.
Hold on. Chat. I have Ohio State winning 54-14.
54-14 is not a nice, Jared. 54-14 is not a nice.
I'm sorry, what?
54-14 is not a nice.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Hey guys, I think Jared's having a math fart here.
Am I?
Yep.
I'm staring at it and it is not making sense to me. No, I said 55-14. Kyle, look at the notes.
Yeah, what you said in the notes and what you said is not the same.
Oh, did I okay, so I didn't do hold on. I didn't do bad math. I did bad talk. Is that in my defense? Probably not.
No.
But it's important that everyone knows I did bad talk, not bad math. I want everyone to know that. Kyle can vouch for me what it says in the notes.
It does say 55-14. It does. But what you said was not.
Anyway. I can't be responsible for what I say.
And I, for those that didn't hear, I have Ohio State scoring more, 63-14, because I think Ohio State is just
that score is not very nice, Kyle.
I know it's not, but it's
okay.
It's definitely over.
It's definitely the over.
All right.
Smash that over. What is Gangland's prediction?
Right.
If you need to tag me, there's a lot here. If you need to tag me out, you need to tag me in.
Jared.
Popcorn. Popcorn.
Yep. All right. Ohio State, Maryland. Baby Tua is just okay. He really isn't that guy like he was made out to be. But he has some decent weapons on the outside. Their offensive line is the definition of a sieve. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Sieve.
What?
A sieve.
Thank you.
Think like a colander.
And will likely get him killed by halftime. Early third quarter at the latest. For those who remember the Virginia Tech quarterback who was saying at halftime he could ball out in the second half in 2015. Think of it like that because he will be taking shots. I don't anticipate anything insanely exotic from Timothy Knowles, but I look forward to seeing what we do against one of the better passing offenses we will see all year.
Just once again, because I feel like we're on a terrible track record so far this episode, that is what is written there.
It does say him.
It's an intention. I think it's an intentional nickname because he is him. Coach Knowles is him, I think is what he's going for there.
Is it heavy cover 0 blitz? Do we run a lot of cover 3 or 4? Only Timothy Knowles. But I look forward to breaking it down after the game. I'm going to slap you. I truly expect our offense to have a huge day, but we need to see more from our other weapons out on the outside away from Marv. I think we said that. He is a certified stud, but we won't see single coverage the rest of his career from here on out.
Yeah.
I need to see Emeka and Julian show the production we saw from them earlier this year to free up the offense. Having Henderson back should be great for the running game. As even though Mayan had a field day last weekend, he left so many extra yards on the field just because he didn't have the same burst as Trey. I'm also praying to whatever God exists, we see some JSN this weekend. I don't anticipate it, but as that will free up the pass game even further. What is also huge is how CJ Stroud has unleashed the athlete within him and is fighting for yards and showing that competitive spirit now.
Now, okay, deep breath. He does, Gangland, my man. You said Buckeyes by 45, so you let us know that Ohio State wins and that they cover, but I don't see a final score prediction here.
You got to give me a final score here. Got to give me a final score.
I mean, I like to think I know what it is.
You'll know it'll be nice. You're going to make Jared do math. Come on.
No, I can do math. I just don't talk. I do math, not talk.
Make Jared do math.
It's literally just shift 10 points from Ohio State to Maryland, and it's my score. It's not hard math. No, wait a minute. That would be if Ohio State scored 45. That's not Ohio State by 45. Okay, now you're making me do math. Now you're making me do math. Now I don't. It's nice. Regardless, it's nice.
All right.
Whatever it is. Oh, hold on. Gangland 6 says 69-24. There you go. So my math actually was accidentally correct.
All right. We'll answer some
Vindicated.
More, all right. We're going to answer some more questions here from Austin's over-unders.
You know what time it is.
All right. He has here over-unders. Catches by Ohio State players not named Marvin Harrison Jr. over under 17.5 under.
That feels like a big number, Austin. I'm always quick to tell you when your number's good. It's not. It feels very big.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm going under.
I'm going to go under as well. I by the way, I know Austin always has good logic. 3 weeks ago, it was 16. What was it, last week and the week before? Like, it's concentrated through the season. I think they'll try to get them more involved. I hope so. Week before was Northwestern. Okay, that's fair. We can wash that one.
All right, baby to a completion percentage.
Week before was like 12.
Over under at 57.49%. I'm going to go under here. He just isn't the same since he's been hurt, and I don't see anything that shows that he'll improve that. So I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I feel like under is the good call here again because, and what's his competition percentage of the season is like 65 though. Yeah, but and Austin, I think you joined a little bit late. They have Kyle was already sort of talking about like,
yeah, he was last
Tualia pre-injury and post-injury, and how it's been a different situation since he came back. So he is 46% since coming back from injury. So I'm going to go under. Yeah, I'm going to go under.
Ohio State rushing touchdowns for the game at 2.5. I'm going to go over.
These are hard because you just never know where the touchdowns are going to come from. But yeah, I'll go over.
I go over.
Yeah, Austin, I would have gone under if you said 3.5.
Austin.
Yeah, I
We're gonna
agree.
have to have Austin. We're gonna have to have a talk here. He has a name here. I'm just gonna say Tommy Pickles / Chambers tackles at 17.5.
I'm gonna go over, but I'm a little hesitant because I don't know how many completed passes or runs there actually are going to be in this game. And then once you start dividing those up across the entire team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go under as well. They're going to go pass happy here. And by the time the game's out of hand, you're going to start seeing second stringers in. So I'm going to go under with this one.
Yeah, especially with the, game before Michigan. I think they'll look for any excuse they can to pull
All right.
players.
And JT impact plays: a tackle for loss, sack, interception, forced fumble, fumble recovery at 1.5.
Okay, so we
I'll go with
include sack. See, the TFL really
Push.
makes.
Yeah, push.
I mean, that's possible.
It is. It is.
Do you want to amend that to like 1.49 or 1.51, Austin? 1.51. Okay, 1.51. I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna go over because of the TFL inclusion here. Everything else, it just almost feels like it has to have the perfect storm of stuff happen. Because I do think Ohio State gets a fair amount of sacks this game. Because as we've stated, Maryland has not done a good job protecting their quarterbacks this year.
Especially recently.
Yeah. Including TFLs. Yeah, I said that. I said, because you included TFLs, I'll go over. That's what I said.
Yeah. I'll go over as well. All right. And he has here Raheem Jarrett catches at 5.5. I'll go over with this one. That they're gonna have to get him and their tight end involved a lot. And if they get involved a lot and each get bunch of catches, it means that they're moving the ball down the field. So I'm going to say over for Raheem just because they got to go to somebody.
I have a hard time seeing it, but maybe though, because Ohio State has that tendency to let like one wide receiver on the other team catch the ball a lot, but they also might make sure that person's not Raheem Jarrett.
Mm-hmm. All right, and
I'm gonna go under.
All right, and the last one, Mirko punts down inside the 20 with no touchbacks at 1.5. I'm going to say under just because of the sheer amount of points that I'm predicting in this game. So I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go under as well. I think if Ryan Day is close enough that an inside the 20 is almost expected, then he's probably not going to punt. Unless it's late in the game, in which case, like, there's always that late in the game caveat. Austin's still talking about the JT over under. Even with tackles for loss, JT only averages less than one impact play per game. Yes, but I would note once again that more of those have come later in the season. I think the early part of the season probably weighs that statistic down. Furthermore, Maryland has given up a ton of sacks this year. So it just increases the likelihood that we hit. You only need two plays.
What is Maryland doing here? I mean, I know who the company is, but you see it up front here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And being a collegiate stadium here, their stadium name is SECU Stadium.
You're stretching there, Kyle.
I wanted you to play along, Jared.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Jeez,
do you have any more questions, Kyle?
Ruin all the fun here. Do you have one question here? And I have not actually looked this up yet.
Yeah.
But Buckeye Matt asks, how many recruits will be at the game?
A lot. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have a
the
number for that. I don't have a number for
all
that.
all the recruits, Jared.
No, I mean not all of them, but yeah.
About all.
Well, you can only pay for the university can only pay for one trip. That's the official. If you don't know, if there anyone you maybe don't know recruiting. The difference between an official visit and an unofficial visit is that the team pays for the official visit. So like I bet like all the Ohio kids will probably be there. Although again, with it being but it's Saturday, Thanksgiving's Thursday. It'll probably be fine. But again, for any of the kids who have to travel a decent distance, maybe traveling on Thanksgiving weekends may be a bit tough. It hasn't really hurt them in the past, though, if we're being honest. You can basically guarantee that all the local guys will be there.
Yeah,
you can guarantee that. And I'm sure they try to get whoever else in there as possible because the shoe is never louder. I don't care if it's a Newton kickoff. It doesn't matter in this case.
All right, that's all. That is all the questions we have here, and that is our Know Your Enemy episode. You got anything else, Jared?
Yeah, Mark Fletcher apparently just decommitted from Ohio State.
Oh, yeah, just saw that.
Literally in our reality 1 minute ago. So that's a thing. So he probably won't be at the game. So that's
looks like he's been flirting. Yeah, he's been flirting around schools with like Florida and Miami. So I think he's gonna stay home.
Yep. Yeah, you never really have a commitment from a Florida kid. The further south you go, the more true that is.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State's has been looking at other quarterbacks, including some big time ones too. That's shown some interest. So we'll save that for another time.
Yeah. He's a. Did you mean to say quarterback?
No, running back.
Did you say running back? What I thought you said quarterback. I'm obviously not all here today, so you can just call me stupid and we can move forward.
It's okay. Well, if I say quarterback, it's running back. They've been in contact with some running backs here, some really highly touted running backs. So, yeah, stay tuned.
All right. Tonight's nope, too early for that. Just want to ask everyone to check out thesloopcast.com. There you will find links to all of our other stuff, including our Patreon page. And we, like I said a couple times recently, we're trying to get those numbers up. So if we're providing you with, 3 to 4 hours of entertainment every week, maybe throw $3 a month at us. I feel like that's a pretty fair ask, personally. With that, you'll get early access to episodes. You will get the ability to, if you want to join our Discord server, join, Austin and Gangland and Stuart and Zach and everyone else who's been down there chatting with us today, and Suncard in our Discord server. And again, it's $3 a month. The Discord server, by the way, is free. There are just premium sections of it, and the ability to listen to us record is one of those premium sections. And again, it's only $3 a month. It's practically nothing. So just, like I said, if you have consumed a lot of this podcast through the season, it would be greatly appreciated. Kyle, that's all I have for plugs. Do you have anything in Kyle's corner?
Something I've been keeping an eye on here. Mentioned it, I don't know if it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, but there's a lot of talks about with the NFL PA talking about trying to ban turfs and all that, and that
a specific type of turf. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know that the GOAT Tony Gerdeman mentioned about that. Yeah, that can definitely hurt Ohio State in the recruiting front if this ban does get put into place with the NFL from the NFLPA. But Gene Smith has come out and said, yeah, we don't have any current plans to replace their brand new turf that they've just installed this year. But I mean,
Yeah.
all the players have really liked it. I think Henderson at one point said that the turf this year is so much better than the turf that they played on last year.
Yeah. And I don't know any of the science or anything behind any of this.
I don't either.
So I don't feel in any way qualified to say that it's necessary or unnecessary or anything like that. So I think it's a thing to keep an eye on, and I think it's a thing we just sort of move past because neither of us know the hell we're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Nope. That's it, Jared. That is it. Because the Buckeyes are basketball still playing here. I'll just leave it at that, and we'll end the episode here.
You don't want to give everyone a live update on a game that ended 2 days ago, or I guess maybe not 2 days ago, maybe just 1 day ago. No?
Yeah.
No?
Maybe.
Maybe. No.
You want me to?
Yes?
No?
No,
Yeah.
not especially.
Not especially.
Not especially.
You sure?
No. I'm leaving it up to you.
Well, they are winning.
Yay! Tonight's ending music will be brought to you by a...
Actually, it just ended. They just ended 65-43 over Eastern Illinois.
There you go. Tonight's ending music will be brought to you by an Ohio-based band called the Soul Monsters. You can stick around, listen to them. If you're listening on the podcast version of the show, if you're watching us on YouTube, then I am providing a link down in the show notes, and you can click on that link. And you can listen to the song as well. So, with all that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local beer, listen to local music, and of course, support your local podcasters. Once again, this is the Soul Monsters.